Thank you very much for the very nice video, and welcome to all our panelists and audience for our in the CDF and in our forum, one of the session in the WSIS plenary sessions, our session today in cybersecurity development in the Arab world. I'm Ahmed Al-Rakhi. I'm Senior Advisor in the ITU Arab Regional Office, and will be my pleasure to be your moderator for our today session. Few administrative issue and housekeeping information for our audience, just in case to be sure that we have interpretation in our session today in Arabic, in English, and French. And this meeting is being recorded for report purpose. And on the other hand, if you would like to have any question, please put it in the chat box so we can use this question by the end of our session following the Q&A session. Ladies and gentlemen, as we all know, COVID-19 pandemic have thrown a spotlight on connectivity and the needs for resilient digital infrastructure. It has been an accelerant for digital transformation, is essential to effective and inclusive digital transformation. Cybercrime could cost the global economy more than $10 trillion per year. This is by 2025. Which would represent the greatest transfer of economic wealth in the history. Our session today will discuss the development of the cybersecurity domain in the Arab region, specifically the role of the CERT in building cyber resilient, protecting critical infrastructure, and increase the awareness of importance of cybersecurity in the society, bridging together, building together blocks between cybersecurity community to review major regional cybersecurity trends and the challenges, and also to support the issues related to the capacity development in the domain of the cybersecurity, which is one of the vital issues for the development in this domain. Our session design is very simple. We'll have 15-minute presentation for each of our distinguished speaker today, and by the end of the presentation, we'll have a Q&A session. So please, as I asked you, put your question in the chat box. It's my pleasure now to invite our first speaker for today, Dr. Abdelrazak Al-Morgan, Executive Director of Center of Excellence in Cyber Crimes and Digital Forensic in Naif Arab University for Security Science. Dr. Al-Morgan is well-regarded digital forensic expert, academician with accomplished experience in Saudi educational sector, well known for digital investigation and security systems. Dr. Al-Morgan, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much indeed. First of all, I'm happy to attend this, this forum, which is my pleasure today to have to be the guest of this forum. Today, as just only we need to talk about the capacity building, which is our experience in capacity building regarding to build it or will focus on digital forensics, especially identify the skills gaps and develop programs, which is, of course, we aligned it with GCI as we're talking about cybersecurity right now. And this is, we linked it with actually SDG, which is a goal 8, 9, and 10, plus goal 16, which is related to our university as we are a security university. This is, of course, will help with nice frameworks, and feedback, which is, we'll explain a little bit about this terminology. I will take you with this presentation, it's not taking more than 10 minutes. First of all, just only regarding for World Economic Forum, they estimate about 1 million people go online for the first each day. Imagine about this number, this is a big number, and 2/3 of the global population on a mobile device. This is, it's an important statistics to us. Regarding for Interpol, which is, that's actually what we're talking about, the crime, cyber crime, we have actually another challenges here. One of them, it's online scams, phishing, and destructive malware and ransomware, which is, this is the challenges we face it right now. If you see it from actually cost, as you mentioned, like Mr. Ahmed before, just in 2025, the estimate for the cost of business, it's 10 trillion, 10.5 trillion annual cost. That's actually for the cybercrime. That's actually what we need to do, just only to therefore the cybercrime legislation, strategies and framework, as well as CERT capabilities and awareness are key to advance sustainable economic, because we are looking to make a sustainable economic and socio-economic development. Of course, as GCI, it's very important to us. The component of GCI, as you know, they are actually five main components: legal, technical measurement, organizational measures, capacity building measures, and cooperation measures, this is the roadmap. But really, we are proud as Arab countries, as we are serving 22 Arab countries, we are proud Saudi Arabia and Emirates is the top of the 5 around the global ranks. Saudi Arabia is number 2 and actually global rank, and Emirates number 5 in the global rank, and we'll see it as well for regional ranks, number 1 and number 2, and then we'll see, unfortunately, some of them it's in the bottom of the list, which is under 100 or above 100 for the rest of the Arab countries, this is to us, it's very important in order, as we're helping 22 countries to identify the gaps between these countries in order to develop our training programs and academic programs in order to help these countries to improve their capabilities. Again, we'll talk about the 4th pillar, which is capacity building or development. The capacity development, it's focus in education. One of the things, it's a focus on education program in cybersecurity, professional training course in cybersecurity R&D programs. This is the area of focus on the 4th pillar. So in this case, how can we help these Arab countries? This is the questions from our university. Again, here, this is very important, the capacity building for the sector-specific training programs. Once we saw that's actually from GCI, we saw actually there are 4 areas focusing: public sector government training, SME, private company training, judicial and legal actor trainings, law enforcement training, this is actually these 3 from SMEs into judicial, legal actors and law enforcement. This is exactly our target, which is we need to develop their skills. As Naif Arab University, we established in 1978. We established our Center of Excellence in Cybercrime and Digital Forensics in March 2021, just to serve the Arab Interior Ministry Council. As we said, and that's the reason we served about 22 countries. We have an experts right now from different backgrounds, from Korean, from Saudi Arabia, from United Kingdom, from US, and from Australia, and we're bringing experts from different countries. Again, we have at the moment 4 main labs, which is actually mobile and drone forensics, computer forensics, network forensics, and multimedia forensics. Based on what we're saying, as we said before here, this is the area of the capacity building, education, professional training, and R&D program. We developed our centers to serve these 4. We develop actually 4 training programs, which is develop as specialized training programs, degree programs for higher diploma and master programs, as well as cybercrime and digital forensics. R&D, we focus on certain type of research, applied research like malware analysis, multimedia forensics, smart city forensics, IoT forensics. This is the area we focus on. ICS forensics. This is the area we're focusing on. As well, we provide consultancy for the countries. So how we develop our programs, our training programs, or even though academic programs, we follow standards. What's the standards we follow? We have actually regional reference model and international reference model as we are serving the Arab countries. For international reference model, we follow NICE, which is actually that's link the capacity, that actually the job description for each positions with the skills, knowledge, and abilities. Again, for the regional, we actually using or apply Saudi cybersecurity workforce framework. Why? Because after this slides, we'll show you the differences between NICE and SIUF after we analyze it, why we go with SIUF as well. And then for the international, we believe NICE and CO doesn't cover the area of cybercrime and digital forensics investigation. For that reason, we apply international reference model, which is at the moment we applied on Forensic Science Education Program Accreditation Commission, which is from American Academy of Forensic Science, in order just only to fill in the gap between CERT and cybersecurity or cybercrime and digital forensics. Here, just only we're talking about NICE. NICE, as you know, the category 7 and specialist area 33. We focus on 4 areas, which is related to our area: cyber defense analyst, incident response, cyber investigation, and digital forensics. The job roles for NICE is 52. We focus on 5 positions. As you said here, the differences: cyber defense analyst, cyber defense incident responder, cybercrime investigator, law enforcement, counterintelligence forensics analyst, and cyber defense forensics analyst. If you compare it with CO, you will see CO has just 5 categories instead of 7, 12 areas of a specialist area, and we focus in 2 areas, which is actually industrial control system and operational technology, ICS. If you see it in NICE, they doesn't cover ICS, cybersecurity incident responder. However, COF it's covered, which is the area we need to focus to help the GCC country and the Arab countries. Again, for the 5 positions, we developed our programs on it: cybersecurity incident responder, digital forensics specialist, cybercrime investigator, and malware reverse engineering specialist. So that's how we will build our programs for training, and even though for academic program. Here, just the approach will take actually the job role based training course, as we discussed before. Like if we take actually one of the positions here, cybercrime investigator, the first one, we actually develop a program for 5 weeks plus 3 days, starting with different models to pass it for 5 weeks. After they pass it, because most of it is practical and there is a case practice, just everyone will provide him with actually a real case or just a simulation case, and would like to see how that's his capabilities to work on it. And after they finish the program, we'll send actually performance evaluation to their actually supervisors in order to tell us how they receive the program, how they improving their skills, where is the gap. If we see the gaps, then we'll bring them again as a workshop in order to close this gap. And at the moment, we develop for cybercrime investigator, and we develop for cybersecurity incident responder and digital forensics specialist, malware reverse engineering and specialist. Each course we divide it in different areas related to the job description. The rest of it, it's emerging tech training. Just only we develop it like GIS and crime analysts and memory forensics. That's actually our model. We have actually good experience right now, because as we are a member of the ITU, a Center of Excellence, just only we had actually this year, we developed actually 4 different programs, and we served about 98 trainees from around the world. And you see from 45 countries, they participated in our program. From G20 countries, there are 5 countries they participate in our program. They received from our programs, which is at the moment, we are just only acting as a hub to improve the skills of the people around the world in order just to enhance their capabilities regarding for cybercrime and cyber forensics. With these courses is provided for free from our center. The way forward, just this is the slide, the final slide on this. Just only we have to have a common understanding of what are the cybersecurity skills gap, and to create job-ready cybersecurity and digital forensics workforce by connecting regional and international reference model. One thing just only I would like to mention, I forget to mention at the moment, because as we said, regarding for digital forensics and cyber crimes, we know there is actually no reference, it's covered. At the moment, we have a big project with Interpol. We are working on it in order to create a framework, which is actually bringing the job descriptions for each related to digital forensics and cyber crimes. And we'll put actually the skills, we'll see that skills, and then we'll run a training based on this framework, which is kind of like NICE, relevant to NICE, but in cyber crime and digital forensics. Further coordination among Arab countries states what believe sharing best practice and experience to aid research excellence, and that's helping us as an input for us just to conduct the research, which is we need to develop it from R&D perspective. The things again, as we believe, as we actually a member of Center of Excellence in ITU, we need actually to help at this stage, and because at the moment we develop our training courses in order just only and workshops, which are helping Arab countries to improve their ranking at the GCI, which is this another area we can work together and just only to help each other in order to develop the ranking of the Arab countries. Thank you so much indeed. Just only that's actually what I have so far. If you have any questions, I'm ready for any questions.
Thank you a lot, Dr. Abdelrazak, for your excellent presentation and very interesting issue related to the capacity development in the domain of cybersecurity and the issues related to the standards for development such specialized and customized programs for that. Now we'd like to move to our next speaker. I would like to introduce Mr. Ahmed Mahawish, Senior Regulatory Expert, National Cybersecurity Agency, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Mr. Mahawish has more than 15 years of experience in cybersecurity related fields, help shaping the Kingdom cybersecurity regulatory environment, besides also a rich experience in the private sector domain. Mr. Mahawish, please, floor is yours.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. حياكم الله جميعا. And good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm really privileged to be here with you today in this event in order to share our experience in Saudi, especially in the area of our vision of being a resilient, secure, and trusted Saudi cyberspace that enables growth and prosperity. It's a national and global imperative for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia to harness and protect its cyberspace. Although there is a vastly greater cyber risk in protecting cyberspace from sophisticated threats that disrupt, destabilize, destroy, and steal data, there is a huge opportunity for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia to harness cyberspace to foster a vibrant society, a thrilling, thriving economy, and an ambitious nation. The leadership of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia foresaw an opportunity for the creation of a dedicated governmental organization that's responsible for matters related to cybersecurity, and under the patronage of the custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud Hafidhahullah, the National Cybersecurity Authority was established in late 2017. Since then, the work has been done in order to enable it with a very effective mandate, and in early 2018, the National Cybersecurity was mandated to strengthen the Kingdom cybersecurity, protect its vital interests, contribute to national security, secure critical national infrastructure, and ensure protection of economic sectors, with the goal to boost cybersecurity of the country, protect its vital interests, national security, and critical infrastructure. This Kingdom commitment to cybersecurity was recognized globally, in the Kingdom achieving the second place in the Global Cybersecurity Index among 193 countries to be the first in the Arab world, the Middle East, and Asia, according to the GCI that's issued by the ITU. So how did we achieve that? The national cybersecurity ecosystem incorporates 5 main pillars: strategy and planning, policies and regulation, capabilities building, international cooperation, and situational awareness. And since the establishment of NCA, work has been done to build these pillars. When it comes to strategy and planning, the National Cybersecurity Strategy was developed to facilitate a resilient, secure, and trusted Saudi cyberspace that enables growth and prosperity. The National Cybersecurity Strategy was approved by the Cabinet with a fundamental goal and constituents to protect the Kingdom's vital interests, critical infrastructure, priority sectors, government services, and activities. In order to achieve our vision of being a resilient, secure, and trusted Saudi cyberspace that enables growth and prosperity, 6 strategic objectives were identified: unifying whole-of-nation comprehensive governance of cybersecurity, manage effectively cybersecurity risk, The third is to assure the protection of national cybersecurity ecosystem. The fourth is to defend the ecosystem by enhancing national capabilities to protect against cyber threats. The fifth is to partner globally by enhancing partnerships and collaboration in cybersecurity. And the sixth is to build capabilities and develop the national cybersecurity industry. In the development of our strategy, a framework has been developed through best practices. Given the time in the presentation, I'll move to the next slide. When it comes to policies and regulations pillar, the Essential Cybersecurity Control was issued in 2018. It's the base for all the cyber frameworks that has been issued. In 2019, we have issued the Critical Systems Cybersecurity Control and the e-commerce cybersecurity guidelines, both for the consumers and the service provider. In 2020, we issued the Cloud Cybersecurity Controls and the National Cryptographic Standards. In 2021, to address the pandemic, we have issued the Telework Cybersecurity Controls and the Organization and Social Media Account Cybersecurity Controls. This year as well, we have also already completed the public consultation for the Operational Technology Cybersecurity Controls and the Data Cybersecurity Controls. These controls and their toolkits that help organizations comply with them are available at NCA websites, and we encourage you to come and visit it and benefit from these. When it comes to the ECC, the Essential Cybersecurity Controls, it identifies and sets the minimum cybersecurity requirements, targeting both governmental entities and CNIs, and it utilizes a self-assessment process along with on-site audits. It comprises of 5 main domains: cybersecurity governance, cybersecurity defense, cybersecurity resilience, third-party and cloud computing cybersecurity, and lastly, industrial control system cybersecurity. There is 114 main controls divided over 29 subdomains. When it comes to the critical system cybersecurity controls, its requirements to define the cybersecurity requirements that are in parallel with the level of protection required to protect critical systems. It includes 4 main domains: cybersecurity governance, cybersecurity defense, cybersecurity resilience, and third-party and cloud computing cybersecurity. It defines a criteria to define what is considered to be a critical system. And for those critical systems that are of national importance, there is an additional set of controls, actually 32 main controls, in addition to what has been identified in the ECC. And the target for this document is for entities owning, managing, or operating national critical infrastructure. And as I have highlighted, it's an extension of the Essential Cybersecurity Controls. When it comes to a very critical pillar we have, which is capabilities building, there is 2 aspects we are working here on: developing the national workforce, and the second thing is the cybersecurity industry. When it comes to the national workforce, we have 2 main national frameworks. The first is the Saudi Cybersecurity Higher Educational Framework, with the aim to develop, to ensure that higher educational institute graduate high caliber Saudi students that will contribute to enhancing the protection of the kingdom cyberspace. The second one, which is of most interest to people working in the field, is the Saudi Cybersecurity Workforce Framework, or SIOF. It's a framework that develops career paths for professionals in the cybersecurity field for them to grow in their career. When it comes to capability building as well, we have more than 200 Saudi citizens that have been through scholarship programs in very prestigious universities to specialize in higher education of cybersecurity. We have 2 main training programs. The first is the Cyber Pro Training Initiative, which is geared for people who are on the job, where we have trained more than 2,800 employees from more than 200 national entities. And we have the second program, which is the Cyber Pro Plus, which is a recruitment training initiative. It's geared toward college graduates, where they undergo a 6-month intensive training program. We have so far 200 graduated from the program, and we have many more that are already in the pipeline of this program. When it comes to cyber exercises, we have conducted more than 26 cyber exercises, where more than 800 participants from more than 190 national entities. When it comes to research and development, we have a national cybersecurity research program, and we have extensive effort being done in the cybersecurity industry development in terms of startups, venture capitalist funds, business accelerators, and working with academia. In 2021, we had launched the Cybersecurity Challenge, where more than 800 individuals participated in it, forming more than 200 teams, offering 118 innovative cybersecurity solutions. The beauty about the Cybersecurity Challenge is not only in the reward that exceeds 3 million, but actually also in the professional consultancy that's been provided, where more than 150 hours of professional consultancy has been provided to those teams in order to further nurture their business ideas to make their cybersecurity offering more lucrative for the business. When it comes to the fourth pillar of international collaboration, with the aim to contribute to reinforcing the Kingdom position in the cyberspace, we are working in 4 main areas: contributing to policy making for international cyberspace, planning and implementing international initiatives, foreseeing and monitoring international changes, and strengthening the Kingdom position internationally. In 2020, under the patronage of the custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, the GCF was launched in Riyadh. GCF is the Global Cybersecurity Forum, is a platform for thought leaders from both academia and the industry to come work together to shape the future of cybersecurity. In 2020, the theme of the GCF was to joining efforts for a better cyber world. We have more than 3,500 participating in this event, and more than 140 speakers and 56 sessions being held in that event. We had very well-renowned participation, where the former president of the Republic of France participated in this event and the former secretary of the Homeland Security of the United States. The recommendations that emerged from the GCF 2020 is thriving cybersecurity industry, a capable cybersecurity workforce, cyber-aware communities, global cybersecurity resilience, and inclusive cybersecurity capacity building. And I would like to invite you to the GCF 2022 that will be held on the 1st and 2nd of February in Riyadh, under the theme of rethinking the global cyber order, where we have 5 themes that will be discussed: disruption frontiers, cyber economics, geo-cyber evolution, future of cyber work, and no one left behind. In 2020, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia was honored to host the G20 presidency. This presidency was a pioneering event by all means. It was for the first time in the history of the G20 that almost all of the events were held online. In order to secure such events, we looked into global practices and how to secure such global events, but we couldn't find a documented practice. So we had a commitment that we wanted to develop a Saudi model, and that model should be shared with the world so that everyone benefits from it. So we developed the Saudi model for strengthening cyber resilience during the Kingdom's G20 presidency year. And the report for that model is available in our website, and we'd like you to please visit our website and benefit from this report. In the G20, we have developed and implemented a program to enhance cybersecurity resilience during the Kingdom presidency year. We led the Security and Digital Economy Priority Outcome, which was endorsed in the Leadership Declaration. We hosted the Cybersecurity in the G20 Dialogue, and the Kingdom has achieved the highest level of commitment to implementing the outcomes of the G20 Summit related to cyber resilience. When it comes to situational awareness, through our National Cybersecurity Center, we're building and advancing our capabilities in cyber threat analysis, cyber threat sharing, and incident management. With that, we are aiming, as I highlighted, to be a resilient, secure, and trusted Saudi cyberspace that enables growth and prosperity. And I would like to reiterate my invitation for you all to see you in Riyadh in February 1st and 2nd in the GCF 2022. Thank you, and back to you, Ahmed.
Thank you a lot, Ahmed, for excellent presentation, a very comprehensive vision and the strategy for NCAA in Saudi Arabia. And this commitment was very clear in the last Global Cybersecurity Index published by the ITU, the great development in the Saudi Arabia ranking in this index to move to the second rank in the global level and making maybe the first one in the regional one. Best of luck for in the coming DCA event, Sean. Our next speaker, I would like to invite Engineer Hisham Raghib, Incident Response Manager at EG-CERT. Hisham, with more than 10-year experience in field of cybersecurity incident handling and digital forensic, handling over 100 cybersecurity incident and digital forensic cases. Hisham, floor is yours.
Thank you, Ahmed. I would like to thank you for the opportunity, and I'm honored to be with you in this event to talk about the development of cybersecurity. First of all, I'll be addressing protecting the critical information infrastructure, where cyber threats really on critical infrastructure has increased significantly, especially during the pandemic era. Nowadays, as recently, demands are very high for remote operations and online services and digital transformation here in the Arab region, and especially in Egypt, is very huge right now. So addressing critical infrastructure, everything from all services like hospitals to electricity grids or banking are now plugged into online world and digitized. So from this we gain many advantages from this structure, but however, going online or putting systems online also creates new surface for vulnerabilities and new vulnerabilities to cyber attacks and hacking. So when organizations is going to the digital world, the first infrastructure it plugs itself into is considered as a critical infrastructure. So organization decision makers must include this perspective into their plan, and this is our role to clarify it for this by EG-CERT for the organizations to put the perspective into their plan on how attacks might affect their functionality. So addressing network security, it really protects an organization against unauthorized accesses and intrusions, but proper security over a network can also identify internal threats to the systems as well. So our goal to implement effectively network security often requires more compromise and trade-offs. One significant problem of network security is that it uses a lot of company or organizational resources. So as technically network security tools generate huge amounts of data. So security teams now we are like guiding them that using machine learning to automate identification of security threats and introduce what is called threat hunting to identify patterns of events inside networks and indicate an attack. Also, one important area is cloud security, as now it's also widely used due to the pandemic era. So trying to set up a number of policies and security controls, procedures combined with technologies that work together to protect this data, infrastructure, and cloud-based systems. We try to provide specific security measures which are configured to protect customers' privacy and guard the data hosted at cloud services, and also authentication rules for devices and users. This could address anything from filtering traffic, authentication access, and configuring the cloud security for specific organization needs or specific client needs. For application security also, many of the best modern attack vectors find web application security is the weakest point to attack organizations. So it's hard to keep up with them due to the increase of numbers and types of web applications which are not yet properly secured. So application security starts with great coding, and which is also challenging to find. And also after securing code practices, penetration testing is very important and is offered by us as EGCert for security, for pen testing is very important as a security practice for every organizations to begin with for implementing application security. For Internet of Things also is very important cyber physical system in how online systems communicate, and specifically Internet of Things refers to systems of interrelated computing devices which can be defined as mechanical or digital machines. Also can be referring to the ability of a system to transfer data over a network without needing human to human or human to computer interactions. But today IoT devices often are shipped to consumers, or there are many used with no patching for security either, which makes them important targets for attacks and used as botnets in DDoS or distributed denial of service attacks that we have significantly spiked through the last 2 years, especially here in Egypt. So in the area of protecting critical information infrastructure, we have to talk about developing a cybersecurity strategy. And every strategy should really be custom designed that works for as a cybersecurity strategy that works for one organization will not necessarily be effective for another. So it's different for every entity based on their specific needs and vulnerability or surface of operations or services offered by this organization. So one important thing is to take some factors that into account regardless of the scope or the size or the industry of the organizations. First of all, understanding risks to critical business operations. Cybersecurity is continually becoming more complex. Organizations must have security vision about cybersecurity means to their operations. This includes generating acceptable level of risk and prioritizing the areas to target for the majority of security events. Second of all, defining the threats on the inside. Many of the backdoors or vulnerabilities that we face in incident handling that cause an organization to be a victim to cyber attacks begin from an internal problem. So a part of cybersecurity package should include internal monitoring to prevent insiders from using this access. Planning for breaches ahead of time is really a very important area also, because as we learned from the last 2 years during the pandemic, the hackers are all, or the attack vectors are always one step ahead of the curve in security. So we have to improve our defenses and the capacity building for teams dealing with incident handlings and incident cybersecurity incidents. So preparing for an attack will enhance the disaster recovery and business continuity measures so that when something does happen, you can return to normal functionality as quickly as possible. With the basics of cyber security covered, organizations should also keep improving their defenses also that work, because defenses that could work today may not work tomorrow. So continuous preparation and learning. Also, the concept of threat hunting, as we talked about earlier, is working in a proactive way is very important. That's what we are trying to promote right now, and and introduce in the cybersecurity trainings that we are offering for organizations, governmental organizations, and in awareness campaigns also. So also we have to make changes to achieve cyber resilience, as developing strategies and performing simulations of attacks and participating in cyber drills, and also organizing cyber drills will improve the operating model and structure security-wise. This will help organizations achieve cyber maturity and gain better experience in setting roles, responsibilities, and decision-making. So, as my colleagues earlier talked, the cyber challenges in the pandemic area can be summarized in the need for remote working. As the coronavirus spread in the last 2 years, a number of cyber attacks and breaches grew exponentially due to this. And now organizations have realized the scale of threat and focus on operational and financial challenges that the pandemic has created. So for remote working, because remote working is now a big demand, as caused by lockdown, broadened the scope of cyber attacks and increased the attack surface. The social engineering attacks, as a result, was recorded a very significant increase in the incidents we received, especially phishing attacks. As working from home environment is less secure and awareness levels of employees needs to be increased. Also, one challenge was the vulnerabilities to online meeting applications and virtual conferencing applications that has happened due to the pandemic, where we have witnessed a lot of effective vulnerabilities in those applications that lead to stealing credentials and are considered a very important attack vector. So the statistics of cyber attacks reported to EGCERT significantly increased, especially phishing attacks, by about 60% in the pandemic era compared to the years before. And also social media violation cases significantly increased by 40%, and those cases have high impact, really, especially when targeting governmental organizations. Those cases are handled by EGCERT through our established relationships and communication channels with social media platforms to help us address the violation cases in social media, because they have very large or very effective impact, and in the pillar of building relationships and having good cooperation with other entities or external entities, we have created some channels with social media platforms to help us address these cases in a fast and efficient way. So for facing these cybersecurity challenges, the first thing we had to do is raise technical capabilities, because developing our skills and tactics to defending against new attack vectors through capacity building is a must. We have a lot of trainings offered by EGCERT for governmental organizations, especially the program that we call sectorial CERT training. Those are minimized CERT teams at critical organizations that represent our focal points, and they are trained periodically by EGCERT experts in different cybersecurity areas, such as incident handling, penetration testing, forensic analysis, also reverse engineering and malware analysis. So to cooperate for incident response and periodical vulnerability analysis in their organizations, using exact guidelines provided by EGCERT, as well as using unified platforms developed in-house by EGCERT and containing needed tools, and providing trainings for those sectorial CERTs teams to use them This approach really helped us a lot in the pandemic era, and it really acts as a centralized model for a security operations center, but centralized here in EGCERT for critical organizations, and widens the defense strategy across those organizations. The second area was to participate and organize cyber drills, as EGCERT really participates in a lot of global cyber drills, as it simulates cybersecurity attacks and tests the ability of the team to handle security incidents, as well as testing our strategies and plans. Also, EGCERT organized the cybersecurity drills, such as Africa CERT drill or EGCERT drill that to be organized by EGCERT this month. It also helps us establish and maintain good relationships with external entities and peer certs. For enhancing communication and relationships, really, those plans as well as relationships with organizations helped us address the new vulnerabilities and respond to attacks in more efficient and faster way, such as providing step-by-step guidelines and the playbooks for different attack types and attack vectors and vulnerabilities, as well as providing technical support for organizations and providing step-by-step guidelines to deploy in the strategies and plans for the organizations, and in the way to handle each type of attack and how to escalate these actions, and how to document the actions, and how to work on together cooperatively with EGCERT teams to countermeasure those cyber attacks. Also, for the part of the raising awareness, this is the most important part, especially for the type of attacks that spiked in the pandemic era. So a majority of the attacks in this era relied on the lack of awareness for the users that are working remotely in a less secured environment, such as homes. So EGCERT, through its social media channels, has presented a significant number of awareness campaigns addressing working remotely, for example, child online protection and online shopping, many others, through creating simplified and informative infographics, as well as videos giving necessary tips and recommendations, or even detailed steps on how to secure social media accounts and how to use emails and use VPNs for remote access and the remote access techniques and the tips for the public. So those can improve our lower the possibility of successful attacks. In addition, EGCERT has organized more specialized awareness campaigns for specific organizations to raise the awareness of normal users that are using the network through interesting competitions and trainings or technical trainings at those organizations. This was also targeted to the students at universities and the training institutes, aiming to increase the interest of students to the field of cybersecurity, especially young women. Now we can sense the increase of women experts in these fields, either internally or in the partners organizations who specializes in cybersecurity. So these are some of the examples of part of the infographics and the awareness campaigns that we use in social media, and we have also more documents and video content. You can see it on EGCERT website or social media pages. And as I said, also we have more specialized trainings of our technical use for employees in organizations who are represent an attack opportunity due to the lack of awareness, and we have improved a lot in this area and sensed a good success for those awareness campaigns at different organizations. Thank you so much for listening to me, and back to you, Ahmed, right now.
Thank you a lot, Hisham, for very informative presentation of protecting the critical infrastructure. Now I would like to move to our next speaker, Ms. Wafa Dahmani, IT Emergency and Support Director at the National Agency of Computer Security in Tunisia. Wafa responsible for monitoring cyber risks with early warnings of attacks on national cyberspace in coordination with ISPs and various stakeholders, and also responsible in the international coordination in order to identify and combating cyber risks and to exchange information concerning new development on international scales. Wafa, floor is yours.
Thank you, Ahmed. It's quite challenging for me to speak the last one after such interesting presentation from such distinguished panelists. So welcome all. I'm happy to be with you today. I'm trying to share my presentation. 1 minute, please. So in my presentation, I will try to speak in general on where the Arabic region is standing in terms of cybersecurity. Can you see my my screen?
Yes, crystal clear.
Okay, so let me start. Sorry. Right. Okay. So let me start by speaking in general. We all know that cybersecurity is key to ensuring trusted and sustainable digital transformation, and particularly during the situation of crisis like we have seen during the COVID-19 pandemic, where we have to switch online with unplanned processes and procedures. So many of an organization's activities and much of its communication move online, and where cyber defenses might be lowered due to a shift of focus to the health crisis. So COVID-19, in my mind, caused significant increases across all areas of cybercrime, including online scams and phishing, data harvesting, malware, and disrupted malware, ransomware, as well as the exploitation of vulnerabilities of systems, networks, and applications used by business, governments, and school to support staff who are now working remotely, which was, I think, challenging for all countries, especially Arabic countries, and those who are not having the ready infrastructure for that. As I said, my colleague from Arab Saudi ITU has estimated that by the end of 2019, the global cost of cybercrime would amount to $2 trillion US dollars. Therefore, I think fit for purpose, the following are key to advancing sustainable economic and socio-economic development, which are cybercrime legislation, strategic and frameworks, computer emergency response teams, capabilities, awareness, and capacities. And in the following slides, I will try to show with a source, my source will be the ITU, the GCI 2020 report, how the Arabic countries are performing on these areas. For cybercrime legislation, the need for cybersecurity in the Arab region is magnified by the level of digitalization and technical penetration that the region is experiencing. We know that the technical penetration of the region is increasing last years. So the Arab region.
So sorry to interrupt you. Just you need to do it in the full screen mode, please, if you can.
Sorry, I am in full screen.
No, it's not for us in the full screen mode.
Let me try.
Ms. Dahmani, you need to stop sharing and share again. And you need to share the full presentation.
Okay. Can you see it now?
Yes, thank you.
It's okay?
Yes,
no, it's still, yes, now you have to go to full screen.
Full screen mode.
I am on full screen. Let me try again. I am on full screen.
If you can share the desktop, Ms. Wafa.
Okay, let me try.
That would be better. Thank you. Apologies for the interruption.
Okay, let me try and then desktop. I'm sharing my desktop. And it's this presentation. It's full. Now it's full screen. Can you see it in full screen?
No.
Yes, this is better. This is better. At least we can see it. Yes.
Okay, go on, please.
Okay. So in the GCI 2020 shows that in terms of cybercrime legislation, there are 14 Arabic countries have data protection legislation, 12 countries with breach notification measures, 17 countries have legislation on legal access, and 11 countries with online harassment legislation. For strategies and framework, as an example of the importance of critical infrastructure protection and resiliency, I can speak about the example of the Triton software in 2017, who attacked an industrial control system directly by attacking a Saudi Arabian petrochemical plant. The cited attacks had worldwide consequences, sending up the price of oil. Consequently, awareness of the importance of cybersecurity raised within the national governments in the Arab region, manifested by the development of national cybersecurity strategies and the establishment of national cybersecurity agencies. National cybersecurity strategies more often address critical infrastructure, and we'll see some figures here about national cybersecurity strategies in the Arab region who take in consideration and address the critical infrastructure and resiliency. Only 6 countries from the Arab states consider critical infrastructure and resiliency in their cybersecurity strategy. Having a national cybersecurity is not enough, but we need to update this strategy and assess it. And the report, ITU report, GCI 2020, demonstrated that also only 6 Arab states consider assessment of their national cybersecurity strategies. About computer emergency response team. So we all know that CERTs are necessary to deal with cyber risk and incidents and enable countries to respond to incidents and promote quick and systematic action, empowering countries to learn from experience and build cybersecurity resilience. But the report shows that the countries from only 17, it's a good number. 17 countries from the Arab states have a national CSIRT, and only 10 have at least one sectorial CSIRT. About capabilities, awareness, and capacities. Fostering cybersecurity at a national level needs to be accompanied by the promotion of cybersecurity culture, encouraging an attitude shift among business leaders.
Apology, I'm so sorry to interrupt you again. Unfortunately, the slides are not running. I don't know what is the problem, but
me too, because let me try. Is it okay now?
Can I share it from my side? I can, and you can just tell me.
I brought some changes.
Okay. If you can send me this version immediately on the email.
Okay, I will send it to you now.
Yeah, no problem. We can help you.
Okay. So sorry for the inconvenience.
Always happens. Don't worry about that.
Let me take the opportunity to congratulate the Saudi colleagues for their rank in the GCI and what they have been doing so far in cybersecurity while sending the. So. So did you? I have sent it.
Okay.
And I'm in slide 10.
Okay. I'm just waiting to receive it. it's out of from your outbooks, Wafat?
Yes. You didn't receive that?
No, I didn't receive it yet.
Let me try from Gmail. Not yet?
Unfortunately, not delivered.
I will try to send it from Gmail. I don't know what is the problem. Let me try.
Can we live with the version in my hands?
I think, why not? Yes, I will speak about it.
So we can
I just sent it from another mail.
Okay, let me double check for the last time. I don't know, not delivered, unfortunately.
So let's share.
Okay, let's use the one in my hands kindly. So
yes, if I change, I will.
Okay.
I will deal with it.
Let me show it from my side.
So I'm in the 10th slide.
10, okay. It's clear for the screen now?
Is it clear for you, please? For me, yes.
Okay, please go on.
So I was speaking about the initiative about, on capabilities, awareness, and capacities, and from the report of GCI, only 9 states out of 22 having capacity development initiative and awareness mechanism. Next slide, please. So I wanted also to highlight the research aspect for cybersecurity, which is, I think, very important and has been recognized by many governments. A testimony of Arab research efforts in cybersecurity are the creation of academic research centers, and I wanted to give the examples of these two from Abu Dhabi, the Abu Dhabi Centers for Cybersecurity founded in 2012, and the King Abdullah University of Science and Technologies, who are working on research and development on cybersecurity. Next slide, please. So these are the ranks of the Arab countries in the GCI. As we can see, there are some countries who are well performing and well ranked in terms of cybersecurity on the following the 5 pillars, and there are many that are still lagging behind. Next slide, please. Just wanted to assess the scores of the Arabic countries in each pillar. And as you can see in the following slides, the scores of GCI Arabic countries are mixed in the 5 pillars. This for the legal measures. As you can see, the same countries are performing good in legal measures. Next one. The same thing, we can note that there are the same countries that are well performing in this pillar of technical, and the others need still make some efforts. The next one, please, about next one, organizational measures, name command. Next one, please. And finally, about, I think, capacity development. Next one, please. So we have the same behavior for the Arabic countries, whereas about ranking or they performing in the 5 pillars of GCI. Next slide, please. Some commands, of course, Saudi Arabia, Oman, Qatar, Egypt, and the United Arab Emirates demonstrate high level of commitment across all 5 GCI pillars. Tunisia, Jordan, Bahrain, Kuwait, and Morocco have developed complex commitment and engaged in cybersecurity programs and initiatives. And the 3 who have the best scores in all 5 GCI pillars are Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, and Oman. Next slide, please. So to conclude, the need for further coordination, sharing of best practices and experiences boosting research excellence, and the creation of specific transitional research projects aiming at solving specific issues shared by countries in the Arab region would be highly beneficial for the whole region and will reinforce the Arab region experience in the cybersecurity. Of course, it will take some time, but it will be it will invoke an irreversible benefits. Finally, to unleash the Arab region potential, we emphasize the importance of an excellent cybersecurity training and education infrastructure, including academic cybersecurity programs and specialization. These are my comments from what I have seen in the report of GCI. Next slide, please. So I wanted also to shed the light on two areas that we can work on together and collaborate on them in the Arabic region, which are the cybersecurity capacity development and cybersecurity inclusion. For the cyber capacity development, it's through technical and technological trainings, information sharing, workshop. I saw what Saudi already have as an infrastructure on that, and we can, I think, collaborate and work together more, empower the community, the Arab community on skills on cybersecurity. And for cybersecurity inclusion, I think we have a lot of work to do for many countries in the Arab region about child online protection, cyber for good, women in cyber, and youth cyber. Next slide, please. So to end, I wanted to share with you a local initiative in Tunisia, which about local collaboration. We have lately launched last month the Tunisian Forum of Certs and Security Operations Centers, which is a space of trust that brings together a set of organizations operating in the field of processing and responding to cybersecurity incidents, whose mission is mainly support Tunisian teams specializing in the field of cybersecurity, encourage partnership and collaboration, promote national and regional cooperation, support capacity and skills in building and knowledge exchange. More details can be found in the following link. Next, I think I have come to the end of my presentation. Thank you, and sorry for the inconvenience.
Thank you a lot, Wafa, for excellent presentation and excellent recommendations, and also excellent analysis for the GCI. Now we concluded all our presentation. I would like if the audience would like to give us any questions to our speakers from the chat box. Let me check that. It was crystal clear. Everything was clarified. I'm not sure, Tala, if we have extra 3-4 minutes or we need to conclude now. Yes, Ahmed, please.
You still have 5 minutes, so it's fine.
Okay.
All right. Given that we have 5 minutes, I just want to reiterate the invitation for the GCF 2022. It's going to be in the 1st and 2nd of February. It's going to be, inshallah, on site in Riyadh. As I highlighted, we have 5 sub-themes. We look forward to seeing you guys all in person, and we are really keen about that. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ahmed. Best of luck in the MDFC, and I'm sure it will be a very successful event. Yes, Wafa, please.
Yeah, actually, I forgot to say, since I heard good things from the presentation, I forgot perhaps another area that we can collaborate on is to improve the CCI reports for the Arab regions. And I think we have good experience from Egypt and, of course, Saudi Arabia. It would be really very interesting if we can collaborate in 2 or 3 priority areas that can improve the level of cybersecurity in the Arab countries.
I totally agree with you. And I would like also to highlight for you that there is currently in the ITU some sort of activities in the study group 2 in the D sector related to the indicators and the methodology for development for the next GCI. And for sure, if you have sort of regional coordination in this regard, we are happy to share all our experience in this regard. I believe our time is, we have almost 4 minutes, and I believe we have a very excellent session today covering a lot of the topics. It's a very diversified session, the domain of the capacity development, and with Dr. Abdelrazak and the highlighting of...
I think we have a question from the floor. Sorry to interrupt.
Perfect. Can you help me, Tala?
Their hand. They just want to ask a question maybe, so we will ask them to unmute.
Yes, please. If there is any question, please go on.
Mr. Laid, you are unmuted. I think you can take the floor.
Good afternoon to all of you. This is Dr. Laid Zaglami from Algeria. I'm very pleased to be enjoying and joining the webinar. I really like most of the expose. They are very informative for me. And just one question. I don't know whether there is already an authority on cybersecurity for the Arab world, or is it on the offing? And of course, how secure will be this one? Because as you may know very pretty well, that we may have some security issues about whether of breaching this or that. Thank you very much.
Thank you a lot, Mr. Aid. If any one of our speakers would like to tackle that. I just would like to highlight that for the Arab region, that the ITU implemented Arab Regional Cybersecurity Center in collaboration with the TRA Oman, and this center is now about 5 years old, and we are working in many domains in the capacity development and support in cybersecurity strategy in the region. And this is also, we have the initiative of Center of Excellence. This is a capacity development initiatives from the ITU in the Arab world, and also we have 4 Center of Excellence in the region, specifically Naif University. Now they working in capacity development program in cybersecurity domain. These are maybe mainly the regional cybersecurity initiatives in the domain of collaboration and arrangements for cybersecurity in this regard.
If you allow me, just regarding once we're talking about the regional,
please.
Of course, we have actually, as we said, we provided some of the courses for free through ITU, and we have specialized programs in different, and some of them is customized based on the requirements or the needs of each country. Like at the moment, we are working with Saudi Arabia, with the National Cybersecurity Authority to actually run or to execute a training for judges and for public prosecutors, which is that will run in 2022. That's based on the needs for each country, as we are a regional institution.
Thank you, Dr. Abdelrazak.
Ahmed, just about the question, I didn't really, it was not clear for me. I don't know if the other panelists understood the question of Mr. Raid.
Well, my question is there any cybersecurity authority within the Arab world? And if so, what are the guarantee that this body will not be subject to any kind of manipulation or intrusion or so forth? Thank you.
I don't think that we have so far any Arab authority. I don't, so the second part you don't need to respond to it.
Thank you, Dr. If there is any question we can take from the floor. I believe by that we can conclude for our session, and I would like to thank you all, our speaker, for your time and excellent presentation. Dr. Abdelrazak, Mr. Ahmed Nawish, Engineer Hisham, Ms. Wafa Dahmani, and thank you a lot for your time. I would like to thank the organizers. Tala, thank you a lot for your efforts to support us. our interpreters that supporting us for better communication, and would like to thank also the audience for being with us for this session about cybersecurity development. I hope it was fruitful, diversified, a lot of information, and I think it will be very beneficial for everyone out here. Thank you a lot, and wish you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.
Thank you, Ahmed. Thank you all. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Under the slogan of shaping our digital future, the Arab International Digital Cooperation and Development Forum, the CDF, will bring together representatives and experts from Arab governments, the business sector, civil society, the technical community, academia, and international organizations. DCDF will be held virtually from 13 to 23 December 2021 by ESCWA, LAS, ITU, UNCTAD, and UNDESA. Through almost 30 sessions over 8 days, you can participate in policy debate on priority issues in the fields of internet policies and digital development globally and in the Arab region. DCDF aims to align the Arab tracks of the World Summit on the Information Society and the Internet Governance Forum to maximize opportunities for digital cooperation. Register now to join us in this journey from 13 to 23 December. Together, let's shape our digital future.